Safeway is a Fortune 50 company and one of the largest food and drug retailers in North America based on sales. Safeway takes great pride in being the neighborhood grocery store for millions of North Americans. Core company values include building stronger communities through involvement. The company has a very strong commitment to employee diversity, especially people with disabilities, a model which Safeway hopes will be adopted by other corporations.
We have over 10,000 disabled employees that work in our stores, and the good news is the number is actually growing.
Yeah.
And it is, I think, one of the most untapped resources of the human race is the fact that, as you said, 70% of people with disabilities are unemployed.
Right.
We have found that these employees make the most loyal, most dedicated, most appreciative people within our store systems and in our offices, and it makes you want to have even more people with disabilities and give them that opportunity, and that's what we strive to do. Well, just about everything we do at Safeway has to have a return on investment, but I would tell you that the accommodations you have to make for our people with special needs is very minor compared to the return we get from these dedicated, loyal employees. And also, I really do believe that it has an effect on the entire workforce. I mean, they perform better as a team, it's everybody helping each other out, and that's something that's really hard to put a value on, but it's extremely valuable to us. And we don't want to have exclusivity here as far as our hiring of people with disabilities and as far as our fundraising. We would love for other companies, even our competitors, to be able to do what we do and at the level we do it. And we would open our playbook and help them to understand that, because it's just really a win-win for all of us if we get more involvement, more people hiring individuals with disabilities, more people raising money to fund these wonderful services like Easter Seals.
Meet Laree Renda. Her meteoric rise within Safeway is legendary, and she is a driving force behind its philanthropic arm, the Safeway Foundation.
We started the Safeway Foundation in 2002, and really for a couple of reasons. We looked at the opportunity to brand all the great work that we had already done at Safeway and thought that by creating our own foundation and calling it the Safeway Foundation, it really allowed us to have a higher level of visibility with our consumers and with our vendor community and even with our employees to know that this is something really important to us, something that is really a core discipline of the company. So we created the Safeway Foundation. Well, before we were doing a lot of fundraising,
Right.
but we were doing it through the normal business channels. And although we had great success, and it was pretty persistent and consistent, the problem that any business finds itself in at times, and this is certainly an example of that. When
Right.
tough economic times hit, what's the first thing that gives?
Yeah.
A lot of corporations who have had a good track record of fundraising and charitable contributions tend to kind of adjust that volume down a little bit during tough times. And we wanted to make sure, because we had so many organizations that were depending on us for our charitable giving, that we would have a consistent way to deliver to them what they expected from us without any interruption, no matter what kind of business cycle we found ourselves in. So I think that's one of the most insightful reasons why a company should establish their own foundation, because then you can get all of your energy behind raising money and putting it all in the one place, and then making sure that that is something that you can do today, tomorrow, and any day. You know, one of the things that I had the benefit of working on years ago at Safeway is developing a service culture, a customer service culture within Safeway. And so one of the lessons that we learned along the way is that when you have a great culture of courtesy and treating your customers well, they return that favor to you by being friendlier at our stores. So actually, as a store employee, it makes your job easier if you can deliver service to your customers and be very friendly in doing so. And actually, charitable giving is much like that. It kind of grows on itself, that the more you do, the more appreciative people are of what you're doing. And it gets you motivated and excited and makes you just want to do even more.
Safeway's commitment to people with disabilities also extends to its strong philanthropic support of its charitable partner, Easter Seals.
We do fundraising throughout the year in a number of different charities. Easter Seals, we take the month of April and we really just focus all of our attention on helping people with disabilities during April. And then we have other events outside of April, a gala, dinner dance, we have a golf tournament, we have other things that kind of go on through the year. And now we have raised over $100 million for Easter Seals over the course of this relationship. What's important to us and what we raise money for is we make sure that all that money is spent on services in the local community. So if we're raising the money in Northern California, we want to spend the money we raise in Northern California in Northern California. So it's really our commitment to our communities. And the same thing, if it's raised in Texas, we want to spend it in Texas. And that really keeps the cycle of getting motivated and get energy behind our fundraising with our employee base intact, because they know that whatever they do, it's going to go right there locally to their own community, which is really important to us. But Easter Seals also is one of the most efficient charitable organizations in the country. And we like to think we're pretty efficient at Safeway too. So it was a perfect match for us. We expect them to be wise in their spending and take as much as the funding that they receive from us and get it directly to the clients that they serve. And they do that in a superb way.
Christy and Brian are two Safeway employees who work hard to contribute to the success of the company. The pride they take in their work is evident.
Well, Brian, here we are in your produce department. You've been working here how many years now in produce?
2.
2 years.
Yes.
And you like it better than the bagging job?
A lot better.
Yeah. And how did you get the job?
My mom talked to Bernard Hardy.
Oh yeah. What a great guy he is, huh?
Yes. And then he talked to Bill, and then Bill set me up here.
Yeah. And you like it, huh?
I love it.
This is almost like you own the store. You make it look so good. Huh?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Brian, thank you so much for working for Safeway and helping them build a great name for themselves. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Well, what I do at Safeway is when I first walked in, I asked for the manager if I can get a job application.
Wow. What
Yeah.
did he say?
And he said, well, Christy, you can work here.
Wow. And
Yeah.
how long you been working here?
I've been working here for 4 years.
4 years. And what do you do?
And what I do is I bag people's groceries and I take them out to their car. I ask them if they want paper or double paper, plastic or double plastic. I put the heavy cans on the bottom first, then I put the lighter stuff on the top.
How often do you work?
Every 3 days,
Every 3 days?
yes,
And how many hours?
from 12 to 4, 4 hours
4
a
hours.
day.
Well, what do you
Yeah.
do with all that money now? Get
I
married?
put it in the bank,
We're getting married, right?
yeah.
When are you getting married?
And October 10th,
And what's his name?
his name is Austin Davenport.
Oh, wow. And where does he live?
He lives in Dallas, Texas.
Are you moving to Dallas or is he coming to San Francisco?
Actually, I'm moving there.
Oh, wow. What are you going to do with Mom?
Well, I might have to leave her at home.
What else do you do here besides that?
Well,
You trying for another job?
actually, this is the only job I've had. Well, I have another position that I work at. I work at John Muir too.
Oh, yeah. What do you do there?
What I do at John Muir is I help sick people by give them flowers,
Oh, yeah.
and I ask them for juice and water.
You're a busy lady.
I am.
Oh, wow. I'll tell you.
I even do discharges.
Oh, you do?
I take the blood to the blood bank, and pills and other stuff goes up to the pharmacy.
Well, what do you have time for fun? And what do you do for fun?
What I do for fun is I like to watch TV for 24 hours a day.
And you like working for Safeway?
Yes,
Oh, great.
and there are 3 things that I want you to know. James is my boss.
Oh, yeah.
He's so accommodating. He's really good. And second, the people that I really do like to work with is the people are very cheerful. They're very happy with me by working there for 4 years. And third is I like the customers.
Oh, yeah.
I take their groceries out to the car, and I put the carts back, and I go back and forth checking the
And
black
after a while, they
baskets.
become friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that great? You can invite them all to your wedding.
Yes.
Well, Christy, thank you so much, dear. See you
welcome.
later.
Okay.